Day ceremonies. Gentlemen, joining me now is Steve Fitzsimmons and the founder of hockeyprospect.com, Mark Edwards. A nice touching ceremony there indeed. Nice to see the nice jerseys there. But now time to talk about game notes brought to you by Easton. The OHL by Central Scouting brought out his top 25 list. A little bit of controversy, I guess, if you want to call it, Steve. Tyler Seguin taking the #1 seed over Taylor Hall in the early run here in the opening of the season.
Well, Tyler Seguin has started like a house on fire. I think last year a number of people thought, just with the line mates that he had with Matt Carey and Chris Terry, that maybe they helped him get that point a game, and undoubtedly they did. But you know what? This guy is proving that he doesn't need that caliber of line mate to produce, Mark, and he's got 2 points a game thus far.
Yeah, there's some guys last year that questioned maybe his point totals his rookie year because of his great line mates, but he's proven everyone wrong this year. Coming right back.
And he's getting to be more of a scorer too, Trev. He's trying to show scouts that.
You're splitting hairs between the two of them. They're both great players, and to argue about it is a tough argument, but you got to pick one when you're making a ranking and a list.
Yeah, I'm sure that discussion will heat up more as the spring and summertime comes around. Now, Callum Fowler takes the #3 spot, but in the #4 spot, Mark, is Eric Goodbranson from the Kingston Frontenacs.
Yeah, Eric Goodbranson, we've actually pushed up to #3, and again, you're splitting hairs between two great hockey players, but we just had to choose one, and Goodbranson, I think, is absolute complete defenseman with great upside. I love the way he plays it tight in the neutral zone and really close to the gap. Seems like he's always on the right side of the puck, and great offensive upside heading to the next level.
Now, Steve, maybe one of the surprises not on the 25 list is Joey Hishon of the Owen Sound Attack.
Well, it really brings into the credibility of the list for me when Joey Hishon is not on it. You look at the players on this list, and I know Joey Hishon doesn't have tons of size to him, but neither did Brian Little either, and he's doing just fine for the Atlanta Thrashers. You cannot tell me that Joey Hishon isn't one of the top 10 players in the Ontario Hockey League that should be on this list, and there's 25, and he's not on it, Mark.
Yeah, I'll back that up. I think that he deserves a spot in that 25 somewhere. I think a little closer to the middle of the pack, even at the end. But for sure in that top 25, if he should be in there.
Steve, what I would argue, just as a player myself years ago trying to climb the ladder, is one, you got two things. He's been hit by the injury bug, so you just don't get a lot of ice time this year when you're trying to make an impression when the scouts are watching. But I'll tell you what, he's in a small market up in Owen Sound. I mean, he's got to have his big games when he's in the big market where the scouts are visible and there. Plus, they just don't get to see him a lot.
But you know what? He played really well at the Ivan Lalinka. He helped Team Canada. He's played in the OHL for 2 years. He had 81 points last year and a real good effort for his season. I just can't see how he's not on the list.
Well, I tell you what, if he plays for the London Knights or the Kitchener Rangers, just to pick two big market teams,
he's on the list.
I agree. I think the Owen Sound is a small factor in there. I agree.
And I want to just throw it out there, gentlemen. Is there any other surprises or guys that you thought maybe should be a little higher?
Do you know what? A guy that you don't really appreciate him until you see him up close, I think, Mark, we were remarking off air, is Sammy Carrick, who's been very impressive tonight. Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of him, but
yeah, right here watching one of the reasons about this game, Sam Carrick and Cameron Wind, and Carrick just at the end of the period there even just showed cycling the puck and with his line mates and winning the battles down low, and he made a couple great plays that just weren't finished.
Wynn looks like solid,
I really
kind of unspectacular, but solid.
I really like him. He was in and out of the lineup last year. I happened to see him last year in one game, and he caught my eye. And then I've watched him quite a few times this year, and he's steady, not spectacular, but seems really smart. Even did a good job just doing what he's told and getting off the ice against Holland's line here in this game.
You look at this new fella for Guelph, Lofquist. Is he a guy that 90 birthday could still make that list? Do you think?
It's the first time I've seen him. I'll tell you that up front. He looks good in the offensive zone. He caught my eye right away with a nice silent wrist shot from the point that found the net, and then he blasted one home for the second goal. A couple stray passes, but he's early in his Guelph career, maybe a little nervous, but he looks promising.
All right, gentlemen, thanks for your thoughts indeed. We're going to be back with more of the second intermission when Smith Valeria Guelph Storm Hockey on Rogers TV continues in just a few moments.